Today, I'm leaking an exclusive to you guys straight from my private members community, Video Production Plus. I'm going to be leaking a 2-hour live session from the private members community with 2 industry leaders, Sam P. Dunn, a YouTuber who scaled over 10,000 subscribers in 5 months and makes over $15,000 a month through his business, and camicees, who has a 100,000 plus YouTube channel and makes over $25,000 a month with his agency. We've got both of these guys on a VP Plus live session. I'm leaking the full live session to you guys. This is one to study right here. This actually might be one of the most valuable pieces of content on the entire internet that's public for freelance video editors. Tall order, it's a big claim, but I'm backing it up, and paying attention to this video will yield absolute dividends for you. Now, we do weekly live sessions in Video Production Plus, and Cami even runs his own offer session. He has a $25,000 a month video editing agency, and he has a offer session in VP Plus weekly where he helps our students develop a larger offer and command larger rates and increase their prices. Today, I'm leaking a full, unreleased, never before seen 2-hour live session where him, myself, and Sam P. Dunn answer questions for the VP Plus community, and these are students who are in your position. These are people who are trying to build a freelance video editing career, and they're trying to grow in this space. This might be one of the most valuable pieces of content on the internet for freelance video editors. Without further ado, let me jump off your screen and let's play the episode. Sam, you've landed some huge, high-profile, multi-million subscriber YouTubers, loads of them as clients. I'd love just to give a background on you for everybody in here right now who doesn't know. Who are the big clients you've worked with, and how did you use a very similar strategy to that to land some of the biggest, YouTubers in the world?
Yeah, so the most prominent that I've worked with directly was Mark Tilbury, a very big finance YouTuber here in the UK. And it's funny, one of the reasons that I don't do videography is because of what we're talking about now, because everything is so permanent. And I really admire you guys for doing that. I prefer just sitting behind the laptop, and everything is fluid. If something goes wrong, it's fixable. Whereas with videography, it's like it's baked in. So fair play to you guys for handling that. But yes, I've worked with Mark Tilbury. I've worked with a handful of other creators in the business niche. That's who I primarily used to focus on. And right now at the moment, I've kind of drifted away from YouTube editing. It's got its pros, it's got its cons, but I've drifted away from it. And what I'm looking to do in 2024 is actually building personal brands from scratch. So it's more still selling the outcome, still not necessarily selling my time, but selling what value I can add and selling the outcome. But I'm more focused on the entrepreneurs who don't have a personal brand at the moment and building their personal brands from scratch. And it kind of folds into skill stacking, like me and Jack were talking about the other day. I know the video hasn't come out yet, but I hope you enjoy it when it does. But it folds into skill stacking as well. It allows you to charge higher for your time. Mm-hmm. That's certainly been my experience with it, rather than just video editing. If you sell the outcome of a platform growth of growing a personal brand, I think you can't go far wrong.
100%. And actually, that I see some crossover, because Cami, that's essentially what you're doing on in a slightly different lane, where you're not just giving them a video, right? When someone comes to you because we have a lot of new members coming in because it's a new year, so people might not have caught the last session with you. Give us a little breakdown on your agency and the package that you actually provide, and drop some names of the people you're working with as well.
Yeah. So for me, we do direct response ads. So they're all the ads that you sometimes see on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok. And we work with, they're quite big brands in the UK, like Remington, if anybody has had like a shaver from them, or like a hairdryer. And some other American brands that do air fryers and kitchen appliances. And what we do is we take the big commercials that they film and we chop it up so that they basically can be run as ads that bring really good results for them. And then we look at the data to analyze which videos had very good first 3 to 5 seconds, which videos actually people clicked on the link. So we know we can use the data to make better videos. So it's not just edits, it's kind of a strategy, and we also script the videos and everything. So like Sam said, it's a skill stack. We're stacking the skill of copywriting for the scripts, editing for the videos, and then data analysis on the back end of it.
Yeah, 100%. And in fact, I'm not too sure if you do this, but in my agency, we do this as well, where we'll even provide the VA. So like a big, thing for our guys is they just want like an automated solution. So like we're finding the winning topics, we're scripting them, right? Obviously have a team for that, editing them, and then also just posting them, which comes with the thumbnail and the SEO as well. So exactly that is like, you guys are the reason I love having these two killers in front of you guys today, is because these are two people who have taken what could be a basic level offer, and they've turned it into something truly unique to them. And they have a larger value proposition, guys. And when we look at people who are crushing in VP Plus and who go on to not just have a churn and, make a little bit of money on the side, but don't turn this into anything full time, the people who are turning this into something full time and building more of something that's akin to a business rather than a freelance hustle on the side, you guys are going to see a common theme is they're skill stacking. They're not just offering an edit, right? That is part of it, 1000%. But that is one moving piece, one variable of the larger offer that exists. And that's the reason why these guys both right here are making six figures a year, right? The reason is because they're not just offering a cut or an edit or short, right? Hey, I'll offer you shorts. There's more value behind it, and there's more of an ROI, return on investment, that the client's going to get. I'm going to selfishly ask a question to both of you. Actually, Sam, you could start, and then we can come over to Camilo. When did you notice that how did you formulate a deeper offer? That's the right way to ask it. How did you put together a deeper offer? And where did that kind of start?
I think a lot of it comes with experience, just kind of naturally. You can see, I think if you go, myself and Jack were talking about this in the video that we filmed the other day. If you go into video editing with more of a business mind and a problem solving mind, you can just identify areas where things could be done better, or where you can add value, and where you can really build your skills whilst working for the client. For example, whilst I was with Mark Tilbury, I was actually working in person, living in his house, or the full Monty, I guess. And it was really interesting to see the back end of this, ginormous creator, and really see the problems and the skills that I'd need to solve those problems. I think that's the biggest thing. So just naturally having the ability to identify problems in whatever market you enter, pays off and works wonders. It's just about identifying problems, solving the problem, and that's what everything can be boiled down to. Yeah, and it's visibility, I think, for sure. Is just like, you don't know I think we said on the podcast, you don't know how much money's out here until you see it, and you kind of need to see that. But Kemi, how about you? How did you formulate this larger deal that's led you to have a multi six-figure agency now?
So interestingly, I used to work as an engineer full time, and then I left that job for like a 5K pay cut to work as an editor in house. And I saw how it was a pet supplement company, and they were spending almost $1 million a month running ads, and we were just cutting videos. And I got to work with the media buyers who were running the ads, and I was just kind of seeing how they were doing things. And I was like, if these guys are spending so much money to make videos that are super easy to edit, like just subtitles and text and whatnot, then I can probably do the same for my own clients. I just had to figure out kind of the other side of it, which was, which ads are the type of ones that perform well and whatnot. And yeah, similar to what Sam said, find the problems that these people need solving, and then find out how to solve them. A lot of the times it was just me figuring out, okay, I want to appeal to e-commerce brands. Let me figure out what videos actually bring e-commerce brands results, right? It's not the fancy high editing stuff. It's like the kind of short form TikTok videos that don't look like ads, but you're scrolling and you're like, oh, this pro looks sick. And then those are the ones that I should be doing. And then when I was doing more of those and testing it with my clients, they were getting way better results.
Yeah. So a core theme there is visible. You don't know what's possible until you saw it. You actually went into an organization, Sam, and you saw it firsthand. And then same with you, Camilla. You're actually working in an organization. You saw what was possible, and you mimicked it. And to a certain extent, I think that's kind of the beauty of VP. Because I mean, although you guys might not be able to go work for Mark Tilbury, one of the biggest creators, you might not go get a job working in a firm where you're able to see this stuff live. I think some of the beauty of this, guys, is, and I've said this all the time, the courses and everything is really just a fraction of what VP is. It's the people, being able to look in on the people in VP that's amazing here, because we have success stories here that you guys can, to a certain extent, mimic and reinvent the wheel, right? Like neither Sam nor Camilo have invented their lane. They've just seen what's working in this crazy marketplace, and they've cherry picked a couple different things or found their unique value proposition within this crazy market. And it's a mature offer. That's what I can call it. It's a mature offer. But no, I love this. Guys, we're going to keep bringing you up. Josh, thank you, Broski. We'll throw you off the stage and we'll bring some more people up. Appreciate you, my man. Boom, 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 boom. Moonwolf, I see you just joined today, so I'll invite you up here.
What's my story?
The legend himself. Boom. I've invited you, Moonwolf, but I will bring somebody else on stage if you get a little bit of stage fright.
By the way, Sam, I love your videos.
Hello. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Hey, can you hear me?
The boys networking. Moonwolf, how you doing today, boss? All good?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah, so I was familiar with Camilo from just watching.
Camilo.
Yeah, Camilo from watching YouTube. So that's actually ironic that I ended up joining, and then I just joined like 5 minutes ago, and then on live.
Great time. Great timing.
So I made a list of questions, and some of them are statements. Like, I bought a Mac Mini 2023, and I think I'm going to be using DaVinci Resolve and CapCut and potentially Premiere Pro, because it's just probably when you get into scripting and plugins, that's probably where the most prominent features are. But I started off doing photography, and I didn't like how in person it was, and that's what made me want to do video editing. And plus, like how you guys talked about the grainy video, like I shot photo and video content that didn't come out correctly, and it ruined the opportunity. So I'm like, all right. So now my goal is I wanted to get into social media marketing and kind of take an agency approach. So I was looking to do like a brand for business owners who are like too busy, where they're already successful, like, or you have to be making a certain amount to even do it. So that way the person isn't broke. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like trying to take blood from a meth head when you're trying to charge.
That's crazy.
I haven't heard that one, bro.
I'm using that.
That was good.
It's like you like them and you like their brand and what their potential is, but then they can't afford to pay you. Like, you can't do a joint venture and be like, okay, well, it's $500 a month plus 20% of the actual profits. Like, you can't do anything like that because they don't have it. So so that's kind of what I wanted to do. And what I've been like trying to use GPT chat to come up with scripts, and I really need help with scripts because even that device, the Mac Mini, I wanted to use it for my personal brand video. So I was trying to get help on that because I'm not making videos of myself because I don't know how to make a script, and I don't want to make one on like the tutorials are like, oh, just open a Word doc and make it yourself. And I'm like, man, there has to be a smarter way to do it. And Jack, I know your scripts are really good for your shorts because that's what made me join.
Huge. Do you know which one it was? Because I can break it down maybe.
Well, I've been watching your channel for like 2 years on and off. Awesome. So so I was actually trying to, at first I was asking you questions about what camera you're using. I was like, what are you using, a Sony, and you were, or whatever, what lens are you using? That's what I was asking. But then I transitioned into a bunch of different phases and watched a bunch of content on how to make money remote. And then I feel like this is the pinnacle. I mean, well, it's something that it just makes sense. So that's kind of what I was trying to get help with, is creating a script. I don't know, what do you guys do to create your scripts? Because I was using GPT chat and I wasn't getting the results I wanted. Are you guys hiring like freelancers to make your scripts for your videos or for your personal brand and for your clients, or are you doing different things for different people?
I'll answer this quick and I'll throw it over to the boys. I stick in topics that I know a lot about so I can bullet point it out, and then I just go off the dome. So my script is akin, like the only things ChatGPT 4, make sure you have 4 because it's significantly better. The only thing ChatGPT 4 helps me with is hooks. It gives me a crazy hook. I literally ask it verbatim, like, give me a crazy, attention grabbing, controversial hook that I can say at the start. And it gives me a really great couple one-liners. And, I'll start like, did you know video editing is going to end? AI is going to take all our jobs. Haha, I'm joking. Fucking, it gives you something fun to grab them. And then sometimes topics that I know about, I'll have it like brainstorm. So I'll be like, plan a topic, plan a video around this, how to make money or how to land video editing clients with Instagram. And it will give me a bunch of jargon, and like 2 of the points of the 10 are like actually gold that I can really talk about. And I'll steal those to my script. And my script's more based on bullet points. I have for short content, I've had the teleprompter, and I've tried to do the teleprompter thing. And honestly, my most viral short ever, which got, and I do think because I was collecting my thoughts beforehand, I was able to probably put together a better piece. It just takes a bit too long for me. So me, I kind of use GPT to formulate my script, but mainly I'm talking about topics that I actually have a lot of knowledge on, which means I can go off bullet points. Sam, I'd love to hear about you because you fully teleprompter, and then we can jump over to Camilo as well.
Yeah, so I've tried doing it, excuse me, off the cuff, and just never, that's not my strong point. So I use an actual physical teleprompter, which you can see there, and 2 like box sites. But in terms of the actual script writing, I would recommend looking into copywriting and looking into storytelling, especially storytelling structures, and then it'll help you kind of structure the information in a clearer way, because it's almost counterintuitive. Certainly, how I do it, it doesn't start with what you're actually talking about. Every single point, whether that's a point like a section of a video or the whole video itself, everything starts with why you should care first, and I think it's so easy to miss that out. The way I do it is why, essentially why care, and then the what, or the bulk of the information, and then how it can be implemented. And with that formula, add in a few storytelling techniques and that kind of thing, you can't really go far wrong. I don't have a very impressive way of going about it. I just type it manually, but certainly using proven hooks is something. When I was working with some of the biggest creators, it was kind of surprising because they had millions of followers, and all they do for a big portion of the ideation of their content was look at what worked. So I had this TikToker with millions of followers, and I was thinking, I wonder how they come up with ideas. And they just see what worked, and sometimes take the hooks word for word. Obviously, you have to change it up and switch it and make it your own. You can't like flat out steal, but ultimately it's just relying on proven concepts, and that could be the first few words of a hook or a short or a video, whatever, or the video concept itself. Just relying on proven concepts, and then you're kind of 10 steps ahead of if you were to just think of an idea and execute it. Because you already know it's performed. You already know the market responds well to it, and that it's going to do well. So there is a fine line. I'm not saying to just go out there and make unoriginal and rip off content. It's just a case of adding your own value, switching it up, but still relying on proven concepts. And that's what I do for script writing. And as well, just one last point, I've got like a list of storytelling techniques that you can add in, and it's just a case of like ticking them off. So I just write it, share as much value as possible, and then I go back over the script and tick off storytelling techniques and add bits in and make bits more interesting and bolder. And it's all storytelling really, and maintaining people's attention. That's all I do.
Data. So it's data and proven methods, right? Because I mean, like, I think they break it down about how like every big movie has the exact same story. It's just different parts put in. They do those breakdowns, whereas like Titanic is actually fucking okay, cool. So that's just, again, exactly what you're doing is proven storytelling techniques. But then you're just using data to essentially rip off the best packaging, the best hook, etc. Similar to how I'll always scroll through and see what's the thumbnail that killed it the most in this topic. Okay, cool. I'm taking some inspiration from that heavily. Awesome. I'd love to hear your breakdown, Cami, as well on scripting.
Pretty similar. I realize that most people do the what and how without the why. And most people do then what, why, how. And as Sam said, you should do the why, what, and how. Like why you should listen to this piece of content, what it is, and how to actually do it. But recently, to answer his question about using ChatGPT, I'm writing a VSL, a video sales letter, if you don't know what that is, for my agency, which is the video that's going to go on the website. And I actually did a different process where I was using ChatGPT as if I was interviewing my ideal prospect. So I was saying, my agency does this. my ideal client is someone that's making this much money, that wants this, whatever, may have these problems. Assume the identity of this person so I can ask you questions. And I was just asking questions like, what problems do you face? Like, what would be the emotional response if this problem got solved to you? And then from there, I was just asking it to produce a bunch of questions or problems that they had. And then I used that for the VSL. So it was a great way to kind of get information of my ideal prospect without having to go and speak to a bunch of business owners.
Yeah, simulation. That's what GPT is for, is if you're trying to get into the mind of a potential audience or someone who you're targeting, GPT is amazing for like just role playing and going that level deeper and giving you more of an insight into their mind. I recently just did that with GPT with script writing as well. I'm like, what are the most common objections? Like, let's brainstorm me the most common objections to a video production community that's teaching people how to land clients. Well, I tried a course and it was a waste of money. So I think I can learn stuff myself. Okay, well, GPT's giving me a great insight into all the possible objections. Then we can start to weave that into our scripts and say, listen, I know you've probably tried a course before and it was low value and you felt like you could have done it yourself. You really like hit them in the face with exactly what they were thinking. So GPT is absolutely an assistant, Moonwolf, right? It's never going to give you the full piece of the pie, maybe not even half of it, in my experience.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I wanted to actually leave this piece of information in the chat. It is a Google. It's a link to the Google Chrome store, and it's something that I found, and it's called AIM-PR for GPT chat.
AI-PRM.
AI-PRM, and it literally has a creator function, and it has like a write a book in one click function, and just like crazy stuff that I think would help with short form content. And but yeah, that was very insightful. I'm kind of looking to figure out how to get my first clients. And do you guys use Upwork to find clients at all?
Yo, how's it going, guys? I just wanted to jump in there quickly. Sorry, how's it going, guys? Nice to meet you, Camilla and Sam, by the way. I don't know if I've actually spoken to you guys before, but just a super quick introduction. I've taught a course on here with Jack about how to get your first 5 freelance clients. So Moonwolf, if you haven't seen that already, it's on the new course hub. And that's a really good starting point. I think Jack will probably agree with me, but that's like his best knowledge on the subject, kind of in like the quickest amount of time that you can get it, but like covers everything that you'd need to know really. And on top of that, I just wanted to say something super quick about the script writing stuff, because obviously I haven't done much in camera stuff. I think the time I did it with Jack was actually the first time I'd ever sat down and like done a proper course, like where I was teaching. And I basically wrote the script, like the outline for that. And the main thing that I did was like, I asked myself what the why was, just like Camilo touched on, like, what is the purpose of us making this course? And we were like, we want to make this course because at the end of it, we want you to have at least 1 to 5 clients, right? Yeah. And then I kind of reverse engineered it. Okay, so the end goal is to get 1 to 5 clients. What do you actually need to do that? And why do you need to do it to get to that position? And then I just started blasting bullet points. So like once I'd say, okay, here's the first step. You need to email these people, write all the bullet points out. And then what I've found is when you write those bullet points, you write them really clearly and concisely. If you then feed that to ChatGPT, which I didn't do for this course, but I learned after the fact, then you get a much more coherent script. And then you can say, okay, well, do this in the style of Alex Hormozy, or do this in the style of like Joe Rogan, or whoever you want to do it. And then you have like a base for a script that you can actually like rewrite and make it to your style. And that's the only way I found it like actually worked. And then the only other thing I was going to say was like when I did it with Jack, obviously all we had was bullet points, and Jack like looks at the bullet points and comes up with like 20 minutes of content in like 2 seconds. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it just goes. And me, I would say like 1 or 2 lines, and I'd be like, oh, like what do I say now? What do I say now? And that's where the teleprompter can come in handy, because I've got a client. He's the same as me. Like, he gets a bit frozen up, and then it takes thing. He just goes off the teleprompter, and then we're in and out in half an hour, and he's done it like one take. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, sorry if that's a bit of a tangent. I just thought I'd jump in there because I think it was.
It's finding what works for you, bro. Exactly. It's finding what works for you. I completely agree. I think you have good game to drop on Moonwolf. What was the final question you just said just before Riaz jumped in? It just evaded me.
Who, me?
Upwork. Yeah, of course. Upwork. Cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. About finding clients on freelance websites. Just for the, I know their answers, but just for the fun, let me just go through the list. Sam, do you find clients on freelance websites?
I don't know.
Camilo, do you find clients on freelance websites?
No.
Riaz, do you find clients on?
No.
Unfortunately, freelance websites are, if you have no network, I'd say they're a decent place to start, I guess, because they're a big job board. But unfortunately, they have been reduced to a cheap place to find work because of, by no fault of their own, freelancers in developing nations are willing to take jobs for much less. So that has driven the price down significantly on freelance websites, and simply people go there to find cheap work for the most part. You can still find some diamonds in the rough, I will say that, because I remember seeing a thread of this design guy talking about, you guys think Upwork's dead? It's the best place ever. I made 20 grand last month. And he was offering a very niche service there, which there probably wasn't much competition for. So yeah, if that's you, awesome, fantastic. But I think freelance websites, the short answer is that is not the place to be, grinding for freelance clients in 2024. I would love to go through and drop some value right now from our panel on where they think is the place to be finding clients. So again, Sam, we can start with you and we'll work through.
Yeah, I think Upwork, FIVERR, and even YTJobs.co. I think, yes, there is some like lower tier work generally, but if you really want that security and really want to work on those websites, what I would do is just find a way to differentiate yourself. I can't really speak from experience here because I've never used those platforms really. But if you do find yourself, if that's like your last option, for example, I would just differentiate yourself in any way possible. One thing you can do is high value outreach, value first outreach, which I think is important, a very good way to differentiate yourself, because what you don't want to be is just another FIVERR ad on a flooded wall of video editor FIVERR ads. You don't want to be just another video editor, like we were speaking about earlier, about problem solving and that side of things, really adding value. I'll just stay away from it. The way I've found success in the past is because it's such a high growth market and video editing as a whole is in demand, especially at the top as well. People say it's saturated, but I think it's saturated at the bottom. Yes. Of the the $20 Fiverr gigs. I wouldn't ever want to get involved in that. But I think the way you can really break through and find the top of the market is value first, and is showing your skills up front before they hire you, and really getting your work out there. If you can put out high quality work into a high growth market like video editing, you're going to see a high amount of results. That's certainly what I've found success with in the past, is essentially investing a lot of time into downloading YouTubers' videos, or just like the guy was speaking about earlier about doing videography for free. Mm-hmm. It's the same concept, just value first. So downloading YouTubers' videos, re-editing them better, and investing hours and hours and hours studying their branding and making sure it matches recent videos they've done. Really investing a lot of time into a free video, into something I'm not getting paid for, and then sharing it in public. So it could be Twitter, Instagram. I've found success on Twitter, on the Twitter side of things, mm-hmm. as well as DMing them and emailing them as well, and really hitting them on all platforms. Because no matter how large the creator is, so long as their team isn't like ginormous, they are likely to see it. Because high value content rises to the top in algorithms. So it's just a case of
yeah.
Sorry, go on.
You've landed, and it's not just like this is a theory, right? Like this is what we push here heavily, but it's fantastic for you guys in VP Plus to hear, essentially an outsider who's just come into this community talk about how that is the core method that you're using to not only land like some average clients, you've landed multi-million subscriber YouTubers with this exact same method. We have Nico on the stage right now. He's landed Clicks, Jinxie.
Yeah, I was about to tap in. That's literally what I did. I think even before them two, I think the first thing I did when I made a Twitter, this is way before I joined VP, just my initial thought was like, I think I had like 8 followers on Twitter at the time. And I just thought, why don't I just like re-edit this video? I was watching like one of FaZe Blaze's like COD videos, like one of his recent ones for MW2. And I was like, ooh, I think I can make that a bit better. I just downloaded it with some like MP4 converter, downloaded it, spit up like a minute. Cause I was like, I can't be like, I was like, the chances of him seeing it are like none. So I was like, I'm not going to edit a full video. Let me just do like 30 seconds a minute.
Yeah.
And like, I'll be like, okay. But then I'll just like I'll say I've done the full video and then wait for him to respond if he did. That was just like the initial thing I did. And then that literally worked within 5 minutes. I did a couple, I landed, and I managed to land FaZe Blaze as my first client with that 8 followers. I only did a couple videos for him, but it was just like, just to have that under my belt in the early days definitely gave me a big fire under myself, and then obviously repeated the process with Quicks, and that was just like being there at the right place, right time. Saw his new React channel, edited the video, and then everything's history from there. And then obviously now we just managed to secure Chica, who's I think she's the biggest female Fortnite creator in the world, and we're fully managing her.
Nico, you talk on that deal real quick, and then I want to go to Cami and Riaz and break down their best place to actually land clients. But that deal's different, right? You've just landed Chica, which is the biggest female Fortnite streamer in the entire world, right? But also, you've negotiated a rev share of her revenue on top of just a performance fee, right? So please talk on that, because that's an insane deal, right? If I'd done that deal at 25, I'd be happy. You've just done that deal at 18 years old. You're the game.
So I will. Let me think. If I need to find the document,
let's go.
We can go in our DMs. But so I'll go to DMs with Jalen. I think I sent him the offer to. Or I'll go in DMs with you, Jax. I'm pretty sure I sent you the offer. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Yeah. So it was essentially what she tweeted. She didn't even tweet. It was FaZe Replays who tweeted. And then she messaged me off that response I made to FaZe Replays. So it wasn't. I didn't even wasn't even thinking about it. She just ran and was like, hey, are you looking to take on another client? I was like, yeah, sure. I was like, yeah, I'll play it off cool. I was like, we got room for another client. And then I was like, okay, we got on a call. We came up with like a custom plan, and she digged the plan. So then I was like, okay, now we've got to come up with the offer for the plan. And then I was thinking, obviously, with her being such a big creator, it's way less riskier. No, there's less risk in taking a rev split, because obviously her rev split is going to be worth more than someone with 100k subs, right? And obviously it's more appealing because then she hasn't got to put anything down. So I'll tell you through the offer right now. TikTok, the TikTok one's a bit different because obviously Canada doesn't have the program yet for TikTok, the new creativity program. But apparently my creative director guy on the team, he said if you're in the US for 90 days, you can convert it to a US account, and she lives in LA. So we're trying to get something sorted there where we can get her 7 million follower account to a US one, and then we can start getting those 1-minute TikTok videos going out. But I'll skip over that because that's all a bit confusing because obviously borders and stuff like that and country rules. But for YouTube, we got 50% of the main YouTube channel because I was like, okay, this is the channel that's going to need the most rework. It's a bit all over the place. And even she admitted that. She was like, yeah, I gave it to these last guys in the past. I just handed it off to them and didn't get involved. And I was like, yeah, that's a really, she even agreed. She was like, yeah, that's probably the worst thing I ever did. And I was like, 100%, I want you to be super involved in this. We're going to go 50-50 on it. And we're going to really rework your main YouTube channel. In addition, because obviously she wasn't too fond of doing a rev split on her TikTok, because obviously it's worth so much. Even 30%, that's going to be worth a lot in the future. What we did, it was
it's crazy.
Yeah. So what we did was okay, she doesn't have a Chica live channel. I was looking at all these other streamers. A big example is Asian Jeff. He's gone from 1K to 10K average on Twitch in the last 2 months. His live channel is doing millions of views. It's super simple. And then I brought up the idea to her, and she was like, yeah, 100%. Even people in my chat have been like, can you make a channel like this so we can catch up with your streams? Because she streams at really awkward times. So boom, she was super keen on that. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm a nice you, even though you won't have to put a finger on the channel, I'm going to give you 50% of the revenue. That way it makes it easier for her to say yes to the TikTok revenue because she's getting 50% of this new channel for doing absolutely nothing. So it's like, okay, I'm getting this for free, but yeah, you know what? He can have 30%. I'm getting 50% of this.
So just
she kind of like feels more
value stack.
Yeah.
You come in, you said, listen, we're going to do the edits for you. Also, you have zero risk up front because we're going to take a revenue cut. On top of that, we're going to go build another YouTube channel for you on the side with your streaming clips, and we're going to build another revenue stream for you that you won't even have to lift a finger for, and we're going to put new money on the table. And then on top of that, you have, this is crucial as well, you have enough social proof and status behind the people you're working with that she is willing to get involved in a deal like this. You guys should understand there are essentially a growth stage to your deals, right? The deals that Cami negotiates and closes for, I think he would admit, couldn't have closed them a couple years ago. He had to build up to this level, and same with Nico. Thank you for jumping on there. I'll throw it to you,
no problem.
Cami. Talk on you building deals and where do you think is the best place to be landing clients?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say Nico's deal is very good. That's like, if he was to just write out what his offer is, that would be a very high value offer. And it's video creation as well as planning. But he's not just saying we'll edit your videos, we'll edit your YouTube videos. No,
we're doing SEO, all that, everything.
Yeah, but even without mentioning the mechanics. Like the offer itself was, we're going to help you with a YouTube channel and help you with your short form. Like it's there's a lot of depth to that offer, which is really good.
Substance. Yeah.
And also with Nico, because he already had some social proof from what other clients, it made it easier to get his next client. A lot of people just need to focus on getting very good results for one client before they get it for the next client.
I mean, I didn't even have to reach out to her. She reached out to me. I wasn't even like trying to respond to her. So
but that's the model you go through when you bring on a new coaching client, right? Camilo, for anybody who doesn't know, Camilo has a coaching business where he'll bring someone on, and it's a high ticket offer, and he'll build them an agency. Basically, you walk through getting them a case study and establishing all the things you've learned the hard way, and give them the blueprint. You are first starting with a case study, right? Like that's the first thing that you do. Is you get them to have a case study. And the reason I'm making that point, guys, which could be obvious to some of you, is that Nico had a case study, and that's why people are coming to him. So such a big emphasis can be put on eating shit on your first deal or two and just getting some samples under your belt.
Yeah.
Just getting, doing some free work.
100%, I ate shit on 2 offers. Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off, but like it's something that really like not annoying. It was like a process, this whole thing. We like fully set up and this is something I learned, is not to do all this before it's closed. But the thing is, they were so on board with everything. They were on board with the price and everything. And then randomly we were just like, oh no, I found someone else to do it for cheaper. Well, that happened twice. And I was like, yeah, I understand. But this guy, I looked into this guy, and a lot of people in the industry know in the, especially the Fortnite niche, know who this guy is. He runs 20 different clients. The quality he does for each client is you can tell all he does is hire them from FIVERR and doesn't have a full team that's everyone knows each other and not that kind of ecosystem. It's just, he clearly just outsourced all his work for super, super cheap for 10, 15 clients that he has. And as I predicted, someone we were going to work with, I won't name names, but their channel's obviously not done as better as we would have done with them. And then, funnily enough, the one creator who obviously was the biggest realized that she obviously saw what we're worth and she agreed to it. But yeah, as everything say, I got denied twice. We wasted so much time. But I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to keep going because I know this offer. I'm like, this team I've got here, because we had the same team. I built this team, and then obviously we tried it with one client. They said no. Another client, they said no. So I still had this team. I'm like, this team's sick. I know there's a crowd there that's going to be like, okay, yes, I want to work with this team. So then obviously we just kept going. Days went by, and then bang, got a DM from Chica, and then boom. So I just wanted to emphasize on that. It's crazy. This shit, all this shit seems so unreal. I still haven't deeped the fact that I'm working with clicks. So that hasn't even, I'm just going with it at this point. I'm not trying to process it. I'm just going with it, This shit's crazy. Just keep going. That's what I'm saying.
You don't need to process it, right? Oftentimes,
just keep it moving, man.
depending on what scale you are of the anxiety, spectrum, right? You might think you got to analyze it too heavily. I got to fucking be totally sure about this before I go through. Oftentimes it's speed, aggressive action forward, lack of stopping to analyze too much that actually gets you ahead. Now, obviously there's too much, right? You should analyze before you run into a bank and try and rob them. But, ideally a little bit of analysis, it doesn't hurt you.
Yeah.
But Nico, thank you, bro. Thank you for jumping up on stage. I'll keep bringing some people up because I see so many things up. But thank you.
Take care, guys.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to see you tomorrow, Nico. I'm going to see you tomorrow, broski, for real. Bringing Nico to London.
Whoa, we're getting the meetup?
Sitting down. Well, we're sitting down for a podcast tomorrow. Sam, we're back at the studio, Nico, tomorrow.
Let's go.
Is it the same studio?
Yeah, it's got to be done. Booked it up. Nico, absolute legend. VP killer. So we dropping some game. Mojo, my friend. How you doing?
What's going on, Jack? How you doing?
Pretty good, boss. 2024. You feeling
2024.
good?
Bro, this week is the best week I've ever had. Let's go, guys. I don't know. This year just feels so special. Like I said, I landed that client. I did a TikTok for him, but he paid me in full for 4. He said that he wants a bit of a credit. So I told him I upped my price. So my TikTok price was $20, but now it's $25. So he said, okay, cool. So I did one for him and he sent me 100 and he said, this way, we're like good for a little bit. And I said, okay, like I'm going to keep track of how many I do for you. So once 4 comes up, because wow, I can't talk today. I'm so sorry. 25 times 4 is 100. So once those 4 run out, I'm gonna just charge him again. But like I said, I did that. My main client has 2 videos for me, and he's also filming another one next week. So it's just crazy.
I love it, bro. I fucking awesome. Great start to the year, bro. For us,
it's great. It's an amazing start to the year.
Movement, broski. I love it.
Of course.
Huge, yeah. Any question for us today, bro?
Yeah, I do have a question. How long can we talk?
Drop some game, broski.
Drop some game, dude. Okay, so I've had this in my head for so long, right? I even DM'd you.
My DMs are.
I think. Yeah, no, trust me, I know it is. Jack, I'm ready. I'm ready to do this. So let's let Mojo cook. Yes, sir. So remember how a little bit ago we were talking about the Mojo practice projects? Like you said, maybe there might be a shot where we can have it like in the VP Plus section.
I'll be honest, you will have to refresh my memory. No, it's not what you told me wasn't that important. It's been some time since we talked.
No, definitely. So I told you about this thing where when I was becoming a video editor, I never knew what to edit. I couldn't find any like stock footage. Even if I went to Pexels, it was just a slow-mo of like a person jumping on the beach. You can't edit that to put out in your portfolio. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to create a website where I would actually have raw footage of any like niche of YouTube videos, and I would allow people to just have it for free and add it to their portfolio. And then you had an idea where like we could have a channel in here called Mojo's Practice Projects. And like I said, I was down for it, but I'm not sure if you still want to go with that.
What content? Well, this sounds like a conversation you and me could have, not in a public forum where
that's why I was trying to contact you.
Oh, my bad. Okay, cool.
No, you're good. No, you're good.
You got my attention now. Let me hit you in the DM afterwards and totally listen. I think you could potentially, if you have some practice projects, we have a practice project section. I was talking to Camilo today about it. I want to, and I think Sam will drop our podcast in the practice projects as well. So this year, if you guys want footage to edit, we're going to be bringing a bunch of stuff. Mojo, anything you can bring to VP in terms of, free content for people to edit and practice on, massive value add. Awesome.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, I'm totally down to talk if you want to talk in private.
We'll tap in, broski. I see your messages over there. I see a little 4 button now, and now I'm feeling really bad now.
No worries, no, Jack, you're good. I know you're busy, bro. I know you're busy.
Enough love, Mojo, and I'm very happy to hear how the year's going for you, broski. Beast.
Yeah, bro. Let's kill it. VP Plus. Yo, let me see some W's in chat.
W's in the chat, baby.
W's in the chat. All right, guys. I'm gonna see you a bit.
Appreciate you, boss. Vexa, how you doing today, boss?
What is up, bro? So a platform, what I would say is good to find clients, but
huge.
It's only when you have a big portfolio, okay? YTJobs is good, but to get high ticket clients, you need to have a decent portfolio already. Because if you have no portfolio and you go on YTJobs, getting a high paying client is I'm gonna be honest, it's just not possible. It's not possible. Yeah, you need the social proof on YTJobs. You do. And yesterday I applied to a job on YTJobs because it's been a while since I did that, and they responded to me in the span of 6 hours. And those guys, I've worked with them before, but I'm trying to get them again with a new name, so as Vexa now. And they are a YouTuber with 30 million plus subscribers. And it's something I haven't even done. So instead of editing, I applied for someone who manages the team. So someone who makes sure the editors are editing the videos and stuff and uploading the videos for them. Which I don't have social proof for, but apparently my portfolio is good enough to be able to do that.
Skills
which I want to...
Yeah. Skills, that's the thing. Skills are transferable. So it's like, although, you haven't necessarily filled that exact position, the track record you have obviously is a cosign that you're going to be able to handle something in that lane. So yeah, for sure. What did you land the job? Who was the YouTuber? 30 million subscribers. That's huge.
It's in the kids content of Roblox, which is literally my whole portfolio. So
dope.
It's called Lanky Box.
I haven't heard of it, but fuck, I'm sure
31.5 million subscribers.
Based.
Yeah, I mean my portfolio is now at like 310 million views. So
beautiful, bro. Anything you want to say to the people who don't have a portfolio like that? Because I understand there's a lot of people in the crowd right now, and there's a lot of people who think, well, that's great, of course, right? If I was fucking Leonardo DiCaprio, I could land a Hollywood movie. I was like, yeah, okay, cool. That I understand that, right? So how did you get your portfolio there? Do you have any game for the people who don't have a portfolio with 300 million views? Vexa, what would you do?
Personally, I was lucky in the beginning, but there is another way for people to start getting a portfolio. For example, like this whole Discord server is a server full of editors. You can literally go up to an editor and say like, hey, can I edit a project with you? You don't have to pay me anything for it, or you can pay me a small portion of what you get paid for it. But in that way, you are editing for a content creator with another editor from this Discord, which will give you views and a base portfolio.
So you can lay claim to the success of that video by collaborating with other people. Yeah, that's an interesting perspective again, because that's networking, right? And yeah, that's not something that I see many people get involved in. And I think like when we talk about being involved in a community like this, cross collaboration, I think personally, outside of the courses, outside of the live sessions, outside of any value this place drives, I do believe that the people and collaborating with the people is, just like you said, like that's going to reap the biggest rewards. I think that's a good move for sure. How would you build a portfolio, Camilo, if you had to start over, and how did you craft yours from the start?
So when I was starting, I was doing a lot of product commercials. So I was filming the product commercials myself, and I was doing a lot of spec work. So I was I have this whole YouTube video where I took a speaker and I filmed a commercial for it. It was by Anchor, Anchor. And then I sent it to Anchor. I found the name on LinkedIn for the guy, and I sent it to Anchor, and I was like, hey, I made this for free. If you're interested, I can do this for you guys. And that landed me my first product commercial job through email. And I know a lot of people don't use email a lot, but it was more of like a business commercial kind of thing. That stuff does work for business to business. In fact, with my agency, most of our clients that we get are business to business because through email. And then later they check my personal brand. They go, okay, cool. He clearly is a creator, he knows what he's doing. And then that kind of gives that confidence for them. But to build if I was just like somebody else said here, I would just download a bunch of video clips and re-edit them, make them in the style of whatever client you want to approach. So e-commerce or entrepreneurs or gaming or whatever. And yeah, if you didn't have a portfolio structure agency, could you still get clients today? Yeah. I would just do that. I would just make my own, and then In fact, I actually would try and work with a creator or a business and say, look, I'll make edits for you, and until you get a good result, you don't pay me. So that way, I'll make the best videos possible, and when I do get a result, I get paid and I get the case study at the same time. But for them, it's less risk. They don't have to risk any money to work with me, and I don't get paid until I bring a good result. And that way, I know which videos are going to do well. So if I do, like, for example, TikToks, if I make a good TikTok that bangs, cool, case study, and I get paid. Yeah. It takes a bit of grind, and most people don't want to do that because they want to get some money right now. But if I can afford it, I have to work another job at the same time or something.
Yeah, dude, that is a big differentiator. Sam, we talked about this on the podcast, actually. That's a big differentiator between the people who crush and people who don't. Like, some people, they feel entitled to not have to do stuff. I shouldn't have to do all that work up front. Like, I shouldn't have to go the extra mile. What if they don't respond, right? Which is such a paradox, because ideally you guys should be, so obsessed with what you're doing that it's like, I have to get into this industry. Like, no one could have stopped me getting into the video production industry. I would go and, I learned how to use a camera on the job. Absolutely. Like, shout out to my boy Noah Archer, who is my videographer. He's got my content looking amazing now. We go into the studio together. I'm going to bring him on for a live session with you guys. He shoots content for fucking Arsenal, Sainsbury's, huge brands now. We started together hustling. I would get us clients. I was great at sending messages and messaging Facebook pages and promoters. And he had the Canon 600D camera. That was what he had, right? Canon 600D. And we would collab. And he learned a lot about client acquisition through being next to me. And I literally learned the basics of a camera in a nightclub or filming music videos, learned what ISO was, learned how we needed to get a better lens because it wasn't handling the light. So that's a character profile that I think you guys are going to see time and time again in VP. And I will make sure to highlight that, because a trait of the winners is like, they were doing this from a passion perspective themselves beforehand. And they also they believed they could do it, but then they weren't really taking no for an answer. They were really going above and beyond to get to the industry. And that means looking at what other people are doing and think, how can I be competitive here? How can I, get anyone to give a fuck about what I'm doing here? And yeah, value first, going above and beyond, as Sam calls it, high quality outreach. That is how you guys pierce through the noise in this day and age, right? If you're a YouTuber, right? I'm a YouTuber. If you look at the grand scheme, pretty low level one. And my DMs and my email is flooded with random spam opportunities. So imagine when you're talking about the top echelon of YouTubers, the tippity top, to be going in for an ask or to be going in with anything less than pure value up front, it's going to be hard, to say the least, to really get them to give you the time of day. So yeah, I think getting the samples under your belt is fucking crucial. Flick, what's going down, boss? How you doing today? I see you've been on the stage for a minute.
Oh, wait, before we carry on, guys, I'm going to have to jump off. Thanks so much, though. Thank you. Peace. Nice to meet you, Sam.
It's nice
Thanks,
to meet you,
guys. See you later, Jack.
Peace, no worries.
Peace. Me too. I got to edit. So I'm going to go.
Run it off. W's in the chat for Camilo. W's in the chat for Vexa. We'll send them off in a good way.
I'm going to have to jump off in a sec as well. But
easy. Don't worry. Me and Sam will hold it down. We'll hold it down.
Oh, yeah.
He's got the knowledge. He's got the knowledge to drop.
What's up?
Yes. What's up? Video editor from Denmark here.
Hey.
So I joined VB Plus this weekend, so I'm fairly new here.
Welcome, man. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to Flick. Say welcome, Flick.
W's in the chat for Flick.
Yeah, W's in the chat for Flick. Let's go.
All right.
I love it, man.
So my question is pretty simple. It's about revisions. Because I have 2 clients right now, recurring clients, really love them, and I would like to provide as much value as possible. So whenever they ask for revisions, I do them. Like, they don't even have to pay anything else. I just do them to make them happy. But sometimes they ask for revision that I actually don't agree with, that I think would make the video perform worse. So what is your recommendation? What would you say if your client if you disagree with the client's revision? Do you have any?
So first off, it's a great point, because I never had an upsell for revisions. I always thought that was weird. I always thought that made me look like just lower value. So by default, I never had a cap on revisions. I think you're doing right there. But ideally, I really never went back and forth that many times, because it was a pretty good edit, right? It never came with that much that they need to change. So that, I think you're doing right. you are the creative expert who's hired. So I think ideally, telling them your opinion and then saying, listen, ultimately, you have the final say. But in my experience, this personally isn't the way we go about this. Even you reference a example as to why. But Sam, I'd love to hear your approach with that. How do you handle revisions?
Yeah, so it was maybe my second or third client, like a big YouTube channel. They knew what they were doing. They had a solid team. They would just go back and forth with revisions all the time. And I didn't have it so much with my first client because it was in person, but with that second client, it was really a killer because it was like back and forth, back. And it's tricky. It is hard. I think I 100% agree with you. There shouldn't be a cap on how many revisions you should do or you should offer, because it kind of looks like a money grab. It's like, yeah, I'll do this for you for this amount, but if you want this, it's a bit more. It's like a bit. You don't want to be that guy. You want to be bending over backwards for them ultimately to help them and to get the end outcome. But it depends. It depends where they are coming from with it. If they've already built a massive channel and they've been the content brains behind it, and they kind of sit in the director seat and direct you what to do, then it's slightly different. Your opinion might weigh a bit less in that scenario. But
good point.
I think there's normally a middle ground where there's just a certain amount of revisions that need to be done to make it a good video, but it's just about playing it by ear and thinking. I mean, bottom line, to summarize everything, I think if you've edited the video logically and you can explain why you've done certain things, then as soon as they have an objection, you can have that discussion and you can say, well, I did it for this reason. I saw you use it previously in your video. I saw this big creator doing this. And so long as you edit logically, you can back up your argument if necessary, if you're in a position to do that.
Yeah, great point. So it essentially just comes down to communicating, right? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, communicate with the client and go ahead.
Okay. Can I just jump in there? Just because completely agree with what everyone's saying. I've had quite bad experiences with revisions in the past where because my policy used to be basically I never had a specific amount of revisions. I never had a policy on that. And I had clients come back to me in 5-6 months. Hey, can you do this? Hey, can you do that? And then I'd be like, look, do you know what I mean? So what my approach for revisions is basically I outline it in my deliverables that I allow one round of major feedback. So I say, here's the video I put together. Tell me absolutely anything you want changed. Just put the timestamp, put the change you want, and I'm going to do everything you asked for, right? Once I send you that, once I do those changes, I send it again, and then you can send me all the minor changes you want. So change this font, add this card here, and then after that, if anything slipped through the net, I'll do one more round of changes, and that's all I'm going to include in my price. Now, most of the time, if anyone asks for anything more than that, I'll still do it. I'll always still do it, and I very rarely charge them, and I very rarely say I won't do it. I just say that up front so that basically it stops people from not watching the video properly and not making the proper feedback so you can actually do your job. And most of the time when you do it like that, even if they ask for something minor, you'll still be able to do it because it's not going to be like, hey, can you regrade the whole video? So it just gives you a bit of a safety net. And then at the end of the day, if they do ask for more changes and you're happy to do them, the ball's in your court then. I wouldn't typically charge for it. However, I have some clients where it's like, I have the university that I used to go to is a client of mine. And I know that the person who's asking me for the change isn't paying for the video, is someone else. So if I say to them, this is going to cost you so-and-so for the changes, they're always just going to say yes, because it's not their money. They don't care. So I wouldn't see it as a way of making money, but if they're asking for a lot of changes and it's because of their bad organization, that's on them. Do you know what I mean? So I would go with Sam and Jack's approach, but I would outline that here's how I like to do things, major feedback, minor feedback. And then it's up to you after that. The other thing I was going to say about it is, you said sometimes the feedback is you think it's worse than what you already did and Yeah. So I've had that exact same issue. And what I do is I basically create two versions of the video. So I'll do the version exactly what they asked for, because essentially the client's always right. And if someone's paying you, you have to do the job to what they want. But then I say, hey, just as a like extra, I had the idea to do it like this, and so I've just created, a quick edit here, just the times, like just a little section that you wanted to show them what you wanted to do. You don't have to redo the whole video. If you prefer my version, or if you want to kind of merge the two, just let me know, and then I'm happy to do it. And that way, like you're still offering your input, but it's really easy out for the client to go, no, I like it how I want it, or if they actually like your expertise and they appreciate, most of the time, even if they say no, they don't want it, they really appreciate you taking the time to like, you're paying me for my expertise, so I'm going to give you my expertise.
That's a great idea. Like showing them like in front of their face, like this is how it looks. Do you prefer that? Like instead of just telling you ideas. Yeah. I like that. Yeah.
I hope that helped, Flick. Thank you, bro. And welcome.
Yeah, very much. Thank you. Happy 2024.
Yes.
I'm jumping off now, guys. Lovely to meet you, Sam. Take care, Jack. I'll chat to you
soon. In a bit. Likewise.
Definitely.
Take care.
Hey, we'll call us. Base. Boom. How we feeling, Sam?
Feeling good. This is the first. I feel like it's a different world that I haven't been introduced to yet. Or this is like, it's a different world. It's good fun. I'm enjoying it.
Welcome, broski. Hopefully we'll get you more involved, bro. I'd love to. I'm sure everyone would love to see some content on the hub from you, bro.
On the hub.
Boom. Here, I'm bringing some people through. Joseph, how we doing, brother?
Hello. You are the great ones. How are you? How are you doing?
Hi. Thank you.
Very good, brother. Happy 2024, my man. Happy New Year.
First of all, thank you for giving us this opportunity. Sam, I watched your videos before you were here. Since I watched you on YouTube, great edits, by the way. Your energy and your way of speaking is captivating, to say the least. So thank you.
Thank you. I mean, I wouldn't put that down as my strong point. So it's brilliant hearing that. Thank you very much.
No problem. Guys, I'll go straight to the point. All the world basically is telling us how to do edits, how to become a great video editor, and blah blah blah. But it's a lot of tips from everyone, and everyone kind of repeats the same things. So I would like to ask you what not to do, or the top 2 things not to do if you want to become a great video editor. What could you tell us?
I'd love to hear Sam. I'm listening to this. I'm pouring my drink. Sam, drop some game and I'll jump in after you.
Yeah. So my initial knee-jerk reaction is kind of thinking that you're entitled to results within video editing, with getting clients, getting higher paying clients, getting paid more, for example. Don't think you're entitled to it. You have to do the work. So, for example, a lot of the mistakes that I see that are just a quick fix is being very informal and unprofessional. That's the word, isn't it? Unprofessional in your outreach and how you speak to clients. For example, if there's a job posting and they've put it on Twitter or whatever, what not to do is to put DM me in the comments. Because just like we said about FIVERR and Upwork and YTJobs earlier, you're just another DM me in a flood of these comments, and you really want to differentiate yourself. So I think within the space, if there was less DM me's, I think people would get a lot further and be perceived as a lot higher value, because you want to come across as professional, like you're serious. And most of all, you want to be doing the work to land that client. You don't want them to have to go out of their way to DM you. Please, can you do this? You want to be seen as high value and you want to be professional. So I would say drop the DM me. It's an easy mistake to make because you see people doing it and it kind of becomes the norm. But I think a bit more professionality does no harm and allows you to really get in rooms with crazy people.
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I think my feedback as well on that would be about approach as well. Is just to me, right? If you are going to a job interview, and I'd say I use it in the same sense as if you were applying to a client. And if I go sit down at a bank, right? They look at the CV, and if I don't have relevant experience, that was pretty boss right there. I had the book right there. Worked pretty well. But if I don't have relevant experience, they don't take me seriously for the job. Right? And that's the legacy work world, right? So it's even more so in the shady, random, weird shadow business of the freelance game, where you're sometimes talking to, not even necessarily a person. It could just be an animated profile picture, right? So I think going above and beyond to communicate that you're the perfect fit for a job, I think that's the key differentiator between landing a job and not. And I think when I hear people give like vague advice about, hey, go, apply to jobs or do outreach, etc., the key thing they always miss is just like, what makes you, I've talked about this in the courses, if you guys have taken it, what makes you the undeniable hire for a job? And the closer you can get to being the undeniable hire, AKA they see it and they're just like, oh, this person ticks all the boxes, this is a perfect fit. And by the way, we might not always be able to get to that perfect match, because that's quite grandiose to aspire to be the perfect fit for something. But the closest you can get to that profile of, I definitely have a lot of substance and track record to back up I'm a great person to work this job, in the form of relevant samples, that's really it. Then that's the main thing I see people mess up, is like they craft an offer. They're like, I'm gonna build personal brands for finance YouTubers. And I'm like, that's great, awesome. So do you have what are you showing them? And they'll be like, well, I haven't done it yet. And I'll say, well, it's gonna be tough for you to land that, because you have no case study or no showcase of you being able to produce that result. So if you came to me and said, Jack, I'm gonna fly you to the moon, right? You better be Elon Musk, or you better have at least worked at SpaceX. You better have some backing in your history that would show you have some applicable skills to be able to perform this service for me. How does that answer the question, Joseph?
I think they both answer it pretty well. Thank you. About the don't DM me part. Suppose, for example, I am on Twitter and I post a new edit. If I don't post, DM me if you're interested in working, for example. What could I do? What are the other options available?
Yeah, so that's a good point actually, but what I was referring to directly was a job posting, for example, and you just becoming another comment responding to the job post saying DM me. You make a good point there about when it's your post. So when you're posting on Twitter, and I think just a level of professionality there would be good. Another mistake that I see a lot of video editors making is pandering to other video editors in their outreach. So, for example, the before and after edits, obviously very good for showcasing your work, but the whole before that you've added in there isn't tailored towards who it should be tailored towards, because ultimately all your outreach should be aimed at the person you're outreaching to, at the creator, at the ideal client. You shouldn't really be pandering and targeting towards editors. There's stuff about, this might be controversial to say, I'm not sure. The stuff about DM me to get the project file or comment for the project file, I personally think you're targeting the wrong person there. You're targeting other video editors, people who aren't going to hire you. And yes, it might get you some likes and this and that, but I personally think your outreach in public should be almost like it is in private. Hi at, whoever, hi at Mark Tilbury. I've created this for you. It'd be a pleasure to work alongside you on any projects you might have going on. Feel free to reach out to me in DMs. I've sent you an email. It shouldn't be at Mark Tilbury sample video, DM me for project file, like and share, fellow video editors, because you're targeting the wrong person there. Yes, you might get some likes and you might get some retweets, but I think your outreach should be just towards the person that you're trying to land as a client.
Yeah,
that's my
100%.
take on it.
Nico, real quick, I'll drop some game on that.
Yeah, go for it.
The fun part, which there's no one size fits all, but we push people to use that DM or the project file tactic as a way to make an ad go viral. So we've had some great success here with essentially, which is the paradox, which I love. I talk about this in the Blue Path. The Blue Path is loosely based off that strategy, Sam, where you are kind of tricking the algorithm to send a video viral where you'll do a before and after. It shows some traction, and then you'll use the project file thing as almost a way to just force everybody to engage with it, which boosts it in the algorithm. And then it can send that before and after post of the project file viral. The thing is, there's some great executions of it in here, which we're pushing people towards, but there's also some wildly spammy giving away fucking asset packs and all sorts of weird fucking stuff like that like someone will steal something off Envato, give away the asset pack thinking it's going to get them clients. So for sure, we've had to tweak that strategy, but we've seen some positive things and definitely some overreaching crazy moves in that department as well. It's all about the implementation.
Yeah, I was going to say one thing, Joseph. I was going to say, sorry, to cut you off there, Sam.
No worries.
I was going to say, because Joseph, you said something about like whether it matters if you put the DM me, if you want your content edited or something like that. And I think I've literally scrolled down all the way to the post I did for clicks. Yeah, I put it in, but ultimately, right, if the edit's good, they'll see it. Like, I think it generally just comes down to that one thing. You can simplify that. If the edit is really good enough, they will see it. That is as simple as. Chances are, obviously, unless they're fucking super, super massive, like Mr. Beast-esque, right? There may obviously just be a chance they didn't see it. But even then, obviously, you do what Sam said. You email their manager, you email like their fucking, you DM their thumbnail designer. Like there's so many people on their team you can reach out to that obviously don't have that following, and then obviously email them, follow them up on other platforms and all that. So ultimately, if they haven't seen it, chances are the edit isn't there's two things. The edit is generally not like obviously up to the standard, or it's like not exactly what they're looking for. Like you can make a good edit and it just not be what they're looking for, which is what we're looking for a second editor for Reacts, because we want to post like 6 times a week, right? Obviously, I'm not going to be doing that. I don't want to edit. I couldn't do that. So we're looking for like a second editor, and someone did a really sick edit and they were tweeting like they got the job because it was a good edit, but it wasn't what we were looking for. And we found someone who did something more similar to what I already do, and we chose them because their edit was better, was more suited. So before I ramble, I'm just going to sum it up. If the edit's good enough, they'll see it. If not, then you need to focus on your craft more. I think, and I'll just briefly touch on one general point. I think I made a tweet about it not too long ago, a couple of days ago. One thing I think a lot of people don't take the time to do is generally just edit. Like, obviously, practice your craft. Like, I'll pull up my infamous tweet that I made a couple of days ago. I think it was like that old saying. It's like, spend 90% of your time sharpening the axe before chopping the tree, or something like that. Apply that with editing, and if you're trying to go for a client, that's what I did with the clicks thing. I spent like 3 hours on a 30-second edit and like a little bit on the tweet. I didn't overthink the tweet or anything like that on what should I put in the tweet. I did that in like 2 seconds. I spent most of my time on the actual thing that matters, the edit. So I definitely think take that approach when you're doing before.
Yeah, if you're gonna chop down a tree, spend the first. Say it again, right?
It was something like I'll read it word for word. It was if I had 6 hours to chop down a tree, I'd spend the first 4 hours sharpening the axe.
Yeah, it's so true, bro, and that means just perfect your craft. Like, actually make sure the product you're bringing to them is good. Like, that's the key differentiator. Like, doesn't matter if Sam did value first for Mark Tilbury or any other big creator for that matter. Yeah. If the piece of content wasn't good, they wouldn't have.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Of course. So it's not the tactic; it's actually the tactic plus the implementation of it, and making sure it's good. But Joseph, did we answer your question? We'll keep it moving if we did.
Yes. Even above that, thank you very much, guys.
Fuck yeah, amazing. And welcome to VP, brother. I haven't seen your name, so welcome to VP Plus.
Thank you very much. Chino says hello, by the way.
Legendary. I love it. Boom. Brian, I'm bringing you up. I'm bringing all the new names first. Whenever I see some new names, I love bringing them through. Give everybody a chance to say what's up. What's up, Brian?
Yo, what up? Do you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, boss? We hear you.
Everything fine, brother. Just a quick question for you, brother. I actually have been video editing for a while now, and I have been working for free for a lot of clients. So I approached them and I told them that I want to work for free. I think I have done over 100 reels for free now, and I'm starting to move into asking for a payment. But the issue that I found is that, I don't know if it's an issue, I want you to clarify that, is that I do not use any of the popular editing software. So I do not use Premiere, I do not use DaVinci or anything of that. I use like Wondershare, Filmora. And I would like to know your opinion, if you think that's a problem, or if you think that if I just master my program, I should keep going that way, or if you think that I should just throw that out and I should start from zero in Premiere. What do you think about that?
I would love to hear your thoughts, Sam. I assume you edit in Premiere, Sam.
Yeah, so I've always just stuck to Premiere Pro, really. I think there shouldn't be too much emphasis put on the software, because there is a lot of division, I guess, in the editing community between Final Cut, between Premiere Pro and DaVinci. I think, I mean, what software did you say you were using now? Sorry.
Wondershare Filmora. I don't know. In the times where I wanted to start, I just found it online, and I was like, I don't know. Maybe I can't. I don't know in the chat. Maybe I can say that less one of the reels is less than a minute. Maybe you could tell me if I should just change or.
I would personally level up to. I mean, I may be biased, but I would choose Premiere Pro, and the good thing about that is it's, maybe I have like all the Adobe apps in one subscription, and I got it on Black Friday, so I got a pretty good deal. But Premiere Pro is cheap enough, and the main thing is it's all transferable skills. So when I first started on a free software too, and then I just ran into issue after issue after issue, and had to level up to Premiere Pro. But you'll find there's a lot of transferable skills. It's all the same principle. No one software has really reinvented the wheel. So you'll find it easy to make that switch, and I would personally go for it as soon as possible.
Yeah, I agree. I came up on a slightly more official editor. I guess I was on Sony Vegas for a while, Brian, and ultimately I had to make the move to. Actually, I was on Windows Live Movie Maker, then I went to Sony Vegas, and then I finally went to Premiere Pro, and we landed in the promised land. I remember I came to Premiere Pro because I was filming nightclubs, and Premiere Pro just could set in points and out points. So my shitty 2 minutes of footage, I could just find the best 30 seconds and in and out point. That was actually the reason why I came to Premiere Pro. But yeah, long story short, Brian, I would definitely consider migrating over to a more premium level video editor. That's the way I look at it. Filmora, the best Filmora editor in the world versus the worst Premiere Pro editor in the world is gonna be a better editor to hire. So of course, it always is your individual skill, but one size fits all answer. I would consider migrating over to Premiere Pro for sure.
Okay, thank you so much, brother. Anyway, I just set a sample like in the chat if you want to look at it or not. But
I'm having a look at it right now. I love it. I'm having a look at it right now, broski. Yeah, so you got some B-roll. You've got some nice. Dude, listen, if you're doing this in Filmora, I'd be very excited to see what you're doing over there in Premiere Pro, because Premiere Pro has every capability Filmora has plus more. So honestly, bro, this is a nice little edit right here that you've got. It's not a bad edit at all. I wouldn't tell you this is a bad edit, which means if you're doing this stuff in Filmora, love to see what you can do in Premiere, bro.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Yeah, like I say, I think I have done like more than 100 reels for free now. I just approach people and I tell them that I want to work for free. So I have built quite a portfolio just working for free and practicing there. But yeah, I was wondering if I should switch for a more optimized editing software. But now that you say that I should, I will spend the next few days trying to learn from your courses, Premiere Pro then.
Do it, broski, do it. And I'd say
thank you.
You shouldn't be offering purely free services now that you've got some samples. You should actually use SAM method and use the method that we talk about in the Outreach Masterclass as well, of value first, where you should just be doing free work, air quotes, by taking their content, you taking the initiative to make an edit out of it and make it really something amazing, and presenting it to them with the classic script that I talk about in the Outreach Masterclass, the I had some time script. Jack, been getting so much value from your content, wanted to find a way to repay the favor. I had some time this afternoon, so I took one of your pieces of content, made it better. You have, from a fan to you, this is, you have my blessing to use this. But if you do want more work like this, I'm available. Link some samples, give them some free content. It disarms people. There's no way for someone to have anything bad to say about that. You've just given free value and you've encouraged them to use it. And then a little wink of, but if you do want more, I'm available. Cool. So I'd start doing that, Brian. I think that approach is going to get you very far. And if you've already got the stamina to be making edits for free, that will get you clients for sure. Maybe it's not the first guy, maybe it's not the second, but there's only so many people who you can do a free edit before somebody sees the value in that and brings you onto the team. So congratulations to you, bro.
Okay. Thank you.
Beast. I love it. Guys, we got 30 more minutes, then I got to jump off and start making some dinner. So we got 30 more minutes. Let's go powerhouse nonstop. Iman, I'm bringing you on right now. What's going down, brother? How you doing?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Can hear you. How are you? Happy 2024, bro. We can hear you.
Thank you. My name is Ayman, and I'm 23 years old. I've been editing like 3 years from now, and I'm editing in FIVERR. Like I get all my clients like from the past 3 years from FIVERR, and the last 2 months or 1 month, I don't get much of clients, and I'm just new here in this community, so I just started learning new things. So if you can help me, give me some advices about is it good to continue in FIVERR? Like I have more than 300 reviews in FIVERR. Is it good to continue there, or you think my upgrade somewhere else or something like that?
So I'll actually say something counterintuitive to what we said earlier. If you have 300 plus reviews under a offer on FIVERR, you should keep that going regardless, because you're probably quite close to the top, right? My camera died, but you're probably quite close to the top of the offer. So for example, I'll hire from FIVERR occasionally, right? I don't love it, but I'll hire and I'll type in something on FIVERR, right? And I'm hiring someone from the top 2 lines, right? So if the offer you're offering, you've managed to get enough reviews for that you're one of the top people, that's probably cash flowing you a decent bit of money on a weekly basis. Am I right?
Yes, but it's not consistent. FIVERR, I feel like they don't give me the 100% the right. Sometimes they send me a lot of clients or something like that, and sometimes it stops. I don't get any clients for a few months, and then I get a lot of clients. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah,
that's why I don't like a lot. Yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So in that respect, you would now be opening up another traffic source for clients. So when I look at somebody who is, in the earlier stages, when I was starting to be full time, I had work coming from me from a lot of different places. I had people texting my phone saying, "Hey, can we shoot a music video?" I had promoters texting my phone saying, "Hey, we're putting on an event in Bristol at the Blue Mountain Club. Do you want to come down on Friday?" I'd also have YouTubers hitting me up saying, "We've got content for you to edit." And then I'd also be landing random videography stuff, whether it be promo videos, etc. So I say that to say this: I had a lot of clients coming to me from random locations, and that's probably what the first couple of years of your freelance game looks like, right? That's kind of what everybody's does, is random clients coming from different locations.
Exactly.
So that's one of your locations, which is awesome. You're in front of us with a place that is working and is driving some traffic. I would be looking to build another stream, right? Or another avenue of clients that are coming to you. And I'd be very interested to hear Sam's point of view on that. Like if you had some clients on FIVERR, Sam, you're making a little bit of cash on the side. What would be your moves if you're putting yourself in Iman's shoes of how the hell you can go about getting some more clients?
Yeah, I would see that as fast money. As I'm guessing, I mean, I hope you don't mind me asking, how much is your average order value on FIVERR?
The income.
Yeah, just generally how much, if you got an order right now, what number is it likely to say?
Okay, I will say the total how I gained from the past 3 years in the FIVERR. I earned about $17,000 just from FIVERR.
Yeah, and do you think that? I mean, this is pretty abstract, but would you say that weighs up against the time that you've spent? Do you generally get a good hourly rate out of it?
Yes, it's good because I have a good prices in FIVERR. I don't have bad price for me and for the kind of videos that I do. Don't take from me a lot of time to do.
Okay, that's good. That's good news. I think I would class that as like your one-off, your fast money. You know, you said the consistency was something that wasn't really there. When we were talking about Fiverr and Upwork earlier, that was more tailored towards beginner video editors who are just getting into the space. So I think if you've already got an established presence, then you're ranking towards the top of this group of editors on Fiverr. I think there's no reason to stop that, to put an end to that income altogether. I think you should probably keep that running, but treat it as fast money. And then look to get some slow money, some, you know, nice monthly clients, some YouTuber clients, maybe that you can build up in the background and really shift, you know, your focus from this fast, quick money to like recurring revenue.
Yeah,
Agreed.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you so much for that.
Broski, just to add on to what Sam said, you have your one-off jobs and your project hopping solidified, but you need your long-term recurring clients who you can really do the math on. Because when you have, you know, I was doing that, bro. Like, you know, when a car dealership paid me fucking £400 to come down and shoot a video for them, awesome, great. That was great, but I couldn't predict that in June next year, a car dealership was going to hit me up and pay me, or right? So I had to land consistent clients, and for me, it's why I love pushing all of our students here into the direction of content, right? Influencer content, YouTube videos, shorts, because those type of clients are more predictable in the form of they have an overarching business, content creation, and they need to pump out consistent content. So when you land one of them, you can predict, you can start to predict your income and say, okay, I've got 3 clients paying me, $2,500 a month. Okay, I'm going to make 7.5. Okay, all right, cool. You can start doing some math, and you get away from the actual scary part about freelancing is that sometimes people are scared to be freelancers because you can't predict accurately what the future is going to be. And that scares a lot of people away. So to reiterate what Sam said, it sounds like you honestly are in a great position, even a better position than a lot of people in VP Plus, because you already have one of your streams alive and kicking. Your one-off jobs project hopping. You just need to start pushing in the direction of stability by getting some longer-term recurring clients as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much for all the things that you just told me, and I really appreciate. And now I have more clear vision what I will do in the future. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much.
That's good. No worries.
Legend, brother. I love it. We'll keep running through. I'm going to keep bringing some people up here, guys. And we'll keep running up. It's a great session today. Who's enjoying the session right now? One in the chat right now if you're enjoying the session. I'm having a great time. I'm glad that we're back. Feels good to be back. I want to bring more killers like Sam to you guys. More killers. I want to get more guest speakers on for you guys this year. It's going to be a lot of fun. You having fun on your first VP live session, Sam?
I'm having fun. It's good to be like, it's good to see what questions arise, because you can put information out and you can chat with people informally, but it's good to see, later down the line, the questions that arise. So it's good fun.
Oh, dude, I love it. That's what I've loved out of VP in the live sessions is just the amount of data you get, because you could sit back and, again, try and predict what people want, but you see live the common pain points and objections that the community is having, which is beautiful, because for me, I'm a bit far removed from the grind of actually grinding day-to-day freelance, and you're closer to it, but you've progressed past the couple first stages, and you're moving more towards the kind of mature stage of it. So I think this is beautiful because you can just see all the problems that are emerging, and then having a dude like you on here is fantastic because you have insights, and dude, it's fantastic. But Matty 7869, how you doing, boss?
I'm doing great, man. This is my first live. I joined like 3 days ago, I think.
Beautiful. Welcome to the family, my man. Welcome.
So can I introduce myself? I started video editing like a long time ago, but I did it for fun basically. And so I finished school this year, so I will be 18 years old in 1 month. And I was interested in starting working as a video editor. So I looked some videos, found some information, mostly your stuff. And when choosing a niche, I chose the niche of sewing. The making dresses and all that stuff because
sewing. Nice. It's a different niche. I haven't heard that niche actually. That's
Interesting niche.
Yeah, it's a good niche.
Mostly because of all the information I have, because my mother does a lot of sewing, and she's like a non-official community manager for everyone in the sewing spaces in Brazil and Argentina and Mexico. So I have the contacts and I have all the info I need to basically outreach. I tried doing free value to the higher ticket clients or possible clients. For example, the latest I did was basically they have a really poor quality in their reels, their stories, their posts, and they sell courses which are an hour long of them talking and not getting straight to the point. Like I've seen a 10-minute video and I wanted to click off in 30 seconds. They're just talking about their lives. So I can offer them a lot of value. The thing is, when outreaching, I do it by Instagram DMs because a lot of people sewing do not have Twitter or TikTok or anything else. They mostly use Facebook and Instagram, and Instagram is like their main area, you know. So my free value I give, I like study their profile, their Instagram, and I make them a color palette with the meaning of the colors and everything. And I give them a special typography, you know, like tailor-made for them. And I also made a video, a 30-second video, because basically introducing my services and all the things I can provide. And I did it mostly, I think I DM'd around 100 people, and only 2 of them, which I DM'd myself, responded. The other 5 or 6, I basically got my mom to DM them first, telling them that their son is video editing courses, you know, which I do not want to do very often, you know. So that's that. They mostly like left me on read, left me, which I find weird because I literally planned every outreach. You know, it was
how did you? What did you come to them with? Like how? Can you send me a screenshot? Can I get a visual of like what they saw when they opened your messages? Because I find it hard to believe that if you went above and beyond to like get some tailor-fitted plan for them, that they wouldn't respond to it. I'm assuming, because I can't see it, was it maybe the approach that you went? Could you screenshot one of these interactions and put it in the chat right now, maybe, so we can get a visual?
Yeah, they are in Portuguese or Spanish. Is it okay?
Go for it, Sam.
I was going to say, was it, from my understanding, you were saying it was their branding, right? You redid their, is that right? You sent them like a redo of their branding.
Not the branding. I didn't change the icons. For
okay,
example,
could you send in the chat? Could you send in the chat what you mean, please?
Yeah, it was the same thing. I'm probably in the same camp as Sam. I'm just I can't quite picture exactly what you presented to them, Maddie. If you can show us, maybe I can get some more of an idea.
Just send. This is one of the latest. I also have a video introducing the services in both Spanish.
And just what offering were you proposing here? What were you trying to get them to pay you for?
So basically, everyone I DM'd are either studying a course or interested in studying a course or making their own YouTube channel. So that's what
I think what you've sent them is too far removed from starting a YouTube channel. It's like I could give someone a 20-pack of Pepsi and say, "Can I be your video editor?" But they're going to be thinking, you know, like I'm maybe they're grateful for this, but they're probably wondering exactly what value you can provide. I think there's better ways that you can show your value compared to this value first. outreach. I think that there should be a different type of value that you're offering, and it should match your service more closely. So, for example, what you could do is write them an exact plan of how you do it, and that and if you put that into a PDF, that can be the value that you give away up front. Because if these people haven't got video content out there for you to edit just yet, or to make like a proper example, you could just make a really nicely presented plan, use those brand colors, and say this is the brand that I built for you as well. And I think that'll be closer towards the service you're providing. What else was I going to say? Another thing as well, because the niche, I'm ignorant, but I'm guessing the niche isn't ginormous. So what you could do to really get the most money out of it and the most value for them and everything is take an ownership in their channels and, you know, build digital products on the back end and really go deep on the marketing side of things. Maybe create a community for people who are interested in sewing, where they can share their work and get new ideas for their work and go professional with it and offer their products or whatever. Just find a way to get involved in the business side of these creators as well.
I agree with that. I second that as well, for sure. Is when you came with them, yeah, like giving them something more tangible and closer related to the actual service you'd be offering, I think could have been where you went wrong here, brother.
Yeah, that's why I started doing like yesterday. I took a reel, one of them posted, and I edited it. So I'm waiting on the response so I can send it back.
Yeah, I see. I'm just watching over your video now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see, I think if you invested the same amount of time, and it's not your fault because obviously there's lots of variables and things that can go wrong. But I think if you invested the same amount of time into a value first, kind of bit of outreach that was more closely linked with your service, with what you can provide, I think you would have got a better start. But yeah, I think the rest of it looks fine. The niche, like I said, isn't going to be ginormous. There's not going to be hundreds of people within this niche that, most of all, that have money to pay you. So your proposition, I think, is solid because you're pitching them the way to make money as well. And it's like a joint venture. You can rely on their credibility in the niche nearly and their value that they provide. And you can be the content guy behind that.
I agree. Yeah. And I think when I look at this, Maddie, you kind of send them a promo video of your services rather than sending them a value first showcase where, yeah, sure, the branding stuff that you sent to them, the color palette, totally, 100%. However, based on the fact that they're in the sewing niche, are they the most business-minded person ever? Do they really care about a color palette? Maybe not, right? So that might be down to knowing your target audience a little bit more. But also, if you were to, do these people have content out there already? That's how you're contacting them, right? Because they already have some content out there already.
Yeah, they do.
So,
okay.
Just as Sam said, instead of sending a promo video, taking their content and just making it better, considerably better, and even applying your own color palette to that could have been a more effective way of communicating your value in a very short period of time. Because you have to understand, and this is for everybody here, you don't have much time to communicate value. They're not going to, give you all day. They're not even going to give you 20 minutes, right? They probably might give you 2 minutes, maybe, right? So if we look at how quickly you have to communicate value, that goes into what medium you present the value in, because it needs to pretty quickly show them you're the guy, you're out here killing it already, you have exclusive value for them, and they need to get, act on it now. And the more cookie cutter and kind of generic your approach is, and I love your promo video, but the fact that it's a promo video that could have been sent to a dozen people before makes it not something that forces them to respond right now and like really act. Whereas, a great way I always get got is someone to be like, Jack, I just made you, 3 emails. I just made you 3 sample emails that have crushed for my clients, right? Like, here's 2 of them. If you want the third one and want to work with me, like, give me a response back. They've given me free value already, told me how it will help me potentially, and kind of dangled the carrot, the shiny object syndrome in front of me. So it makes me want to get involved. And I'm like, oh, cool. This really seems like there's something here. And I think you've started to move towards that, but haven't quite ticked it off, if that makes sense, brother.
Yeah, and can you ask one last question?
Run it up, broski.
Yeah, so I wanted to start an Instagram with you saw the video with the logo and everything, the name of I want to start an agency basically. So I have everything. I have the logo, I have the description, and I have some ideas for videos I will be editing later this night. So my ideal position would be to have a client with some followers, which could like I could give him a discount for a shout out, you know. So I could I like planned creating the Instagram account, and I don't know if I should just make it or wait for a client, because if I make it now, I think I wouldn't have that much to show, you know.
Yeah, I understand that, right? So in terms of you're hesitant to start posting on the channel yourself?
No, I am starting to make content, but I don't know if I should post it right as I edit it or as I make it, or I should like get someone to get me some followers first, you know, like a client that I could give
I
a
think
discount for.
I think the two go hand in hand. I think what you should do is share the things you learn and share your journey along the way and kind of build that and use that as a personal brand. Another thing, I went to America not so long ago, and the guy I went to meet, who's my friend's family friend, he was actually in the print industry. So he did like printed t-shirts, printed caps, like almost like Vistaprint. But there's so much money flowing around in that space that, especially with if you were to offer your services to businesses, there's some I believe that's such a bigger market for you than just sewing. So I think if you can pivot slightly from sewing and from that side of things to the print industry as a whole, which could include sewing, there's there'll be so many more opportunities for you there.
I agree 100%. And Maddie, although your family business and your mother, et cetera, might be the sewing industry, I'd look for. So I was just doing a demo for a sales asset for a client, and they were a web design founder. They were wondering how I'm not able to rank for web design because it's so hard. Like, how the hell can I find a better market within, another attention market within this niche? And we went a layer deeper and showed them how they could be targeting landing pages instead of web design. And that was a sub niche within the niche, right? That actually had more attention. Now for you, you're a super sub niche. You might actually need to go, instead of a layer deeper, a layer broader, and find a bit more of the e-commerce or something in that kind of lane. I definitely look to broaden your horizons in terms of what kind of clients you can target, Matty.
Okay.
Hell yeah, brother. Appreciate you coming through, broski, and Happy New Year, my man.
Thank you. You too.
Legend, boss. Tommy, I see you on stage. How you doing, Tommy V? You're muted, by the way, broski. We can't hear you. Can I talk?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Yeah, don't stress. Okay, cool. We'll bring someone up, and we'll get you on here after 2 minutes.
Set the timer.
I love it. Yeah, exactly. Put the timer on. Shubham, how you doing, brother? All good? He's muted too. Maybe he's 3 minutes.
Hi, hello. Can you hear me?
How are you, brother? All good?
Hi, yeah, I'm good. Hi, Jack. Hi, Sam.
Hello, brother.
So what I wanted to ask you is, I've been listening to the session till now, and you've provided a lot of knowledge about video editing. Could you give us some insights on how to build a team? Like, you both have an agency and you have a lot of, I believe, editors who work for you, right? So could you give me some insights on how do you find editors who can work for you? Obviously, you don't do all your editing yourself now.
So actually, I think, Sam, correct me if I'm wrong, you don't have an agency and you do all your editing yourself, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah, essentially at the moment, I'm more of a solopreneur. So Jack's probably got more value to share on this topic. But I mean, from I can understand how hard it is to find editing talent, because I like to see the market. I like to say I see the market kind of for what it is. And there's lots, at the moment anyway, there's lots of people kind of at the bottom of the market who kind of flood it with their work, and it might be tricky to find someone high quality. But Jack, maybe you've got more value you can share on this. There's not a lot for me to say.
No, 100% exactly. So first off, you need to know who you are to know who you need. Now, for me, a big part of hiring this year, and I now pay out, over $5,000 plus a month in salaries, right? Which is fucking crazy, because I didn't used to make $5,000 a month. Now I pay out more in monthly salaries to team and operational costs than I even used to fucking make, which is legendary. Now, a big part of how I've known who to hire is knowing who the hell I am. So first off, we've talked about this in VP before. I even talked about this to you on the podcast, Sam. I knew you were a killer because I saw this featured in your video. This is a key part of my hiring strategy, is I'm always looking at, can I find out who the person is? So I would, first off, take this personality test to do with business. Chopin, it will give you an idea of your greatest strengths within your business. The areas that no one else could play that role, you have to play that role, right? So for me, I'm a great front man, right? I'm a good CEO, and I'm a good operator in terms of the front of house, promoting, bringing people in, leading the team, motivation, all that stuff. Fantastic. I'm really bad at organization. I'm actually fucking terrible. Like, I'm pretty bad at organization. So some of my key hires, Camilo back in the building, baby. And I'd love to hear, Camilo, you came back on time, because we're talking about hiring a team and building a team, and Camilo's crushed that. But a big part of me building a team well is figuring out the areas that I fall short in the most, and then hiring key roles to back that up. So Ryan P, Stony P, my right-hand man, he's actually high in all the stuff that I'm low in on Principles U, and I'm high in all the stuff he's low in. So he needs me, and I need him, and we're perfect. And to a certain extent, that is a great fit. So I'd first understand yourself through a Principles U test, basically, and then I'd hire roles to support that. But in terms of hiring editors, here's my formula, and it's so simple. You hire editors that are as good, if not better than you. Simple as that. And that's been my tried and true formula, because at least I'm going to have someone who can do what I can do. Ideally, they're better than me and they're a killer, and they can exceed what I can do. And you can only know that by giving a bunch of people the same test, aka the same sample video, and seeing what they come back with. And you're going to see people who drop the ball on areas that you are intuitive to. Like, hold on a minute. That was a joke right there. Why did the screen not go black and have an awkward cut for like 3 seconds? Like that was intuitive to me. Why they didn't do it? And like, I'm just inserting one random thing. There's insert thing here. There's countless ways to mess things up. But one tried and true way that I found is just give a bunch of people a sample, see who comes back and is as good, if not better than you. Hire those people, bring them onto your team. There's other annoyances that will pop up. People will miss deadlines. That's ultimately the main thing, is if they're as good, if not better than you, and they're on point with deadlines, from editor's perspective, that's as good as you can hope for. And that's like an incredible asset to the team, meeting deadlines and as good, if not better than you. But then for hiring like either managerial people or virtual assistants, or in my case, my like actual operational lead that isn't me, Stony P, I've been hiring where I suck in, basically. And I'll look at the data. Again, everything's backed up by data. Where do I actually excel in, and where do I fall short? And let's hire someone who's actually good at the stuff I'm bad at. And that's essentially been my hiring process for both my team and my editors. Chopin.
Okay, thanks. So basically, what we need to do is identify where I'm weak and just hire people whose strengths match my weaknesses, right?
Exactly. And by the way, you're an asset to them as well, bro, because the things that you're good at, they suck at as well. And the things you suck at, they're good at. So it's kind of like you need each other to a certain extent. It's like, the same way you say there's no I in team, you say teamwork makes the dream work, right? Because it's the truth, right? Teamwork really does make the dream work. You can't, go
people should complement each other.
100%. Go find a multi billion-dollar organization, let alone a multi-million-dollar that's built by an individual. It doesn't happen, right? You don't have unicorn companies which are over $1 billion. This one person, because to solve that level of problem, you need diverse skill sets. You simply do, right? So, crucial. It's a huge part in scaling. Massive.
So say you were to hire editors. So do these editors come to you, or do you go to them? Like, do you go on platforms such as like FIVERR or something? Like, where do you hire these people?
Currently, I'm in a bit of a random position to advise, because obviously I run a community of editors, so it's easy for me. But back in the day, I would go to Upwork flat out, and I'd go through my YouTube channel. But Shaban, you actually have a fantastic opportunity. Cami runs a multi-six-figure agency and has built a team, and his business relies on the team that he's built out. Cami, I'd love to hear your thoughts on building a team and what you've done to build yours.
Sure. I mean, quick answer. I'm just coming to VP Plus now for editors, because everyone here is sick.
Let's go.
But for me, the first thing was the editor, but only after I had gotten results for the client myself. So I knew what videos would actually perform well. Like Jack was saying, like I know when the joke is supposed to happen. So I need to make sure that happens before I get another editor. Because if you just hire another editor too quickly, then you both don't know what's good and what's not. And then the client will be sad, and then you will churn. So it was the editor first. Then it was my dad, who I taught how to edit, and now he does that and the finance stuff. And then I got a VA, a virtual assistant, and she's the best because she's very organized, and she helps upload files, send files, organize files, make sure someone's doing something all the time, plan the calendar and stuff. That stuff I'm terrible at. I just do shit. So having someone there that's gonna actually do those little things that I otherwise would get very bored doing or would hate has saved me so much time.
100%. And that's it. Is like, again, the core principle there is you're just looking for someone that complements the area that you're weak in, right, Kemi?
Yeah, exactly.
Huge. I love it. Tommy says, I'm ready. He's been in the fucking room shadow boxing for fucking 25 minutes. What's up, Tommy? How you doing, boss?
Thanks, nice to see you guys.
Thanks, Sam.
Yeah,
thanks,
bro.
Left and shove up.
Nice
Tommy,
to meet
boss.
you.
What's up, brother? How you doing over there?
I'm on the phone because my mic is gone. I don't see. Cannot find it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah. I can see you very well.
Can you hear me?
Can hear you, boss.
Okay. So I've been editing for 4 hours, for almost 5 months now. I've learned quite a lot from you guys, from both Jack and Sam. And I have a Twitter account for like almost a month. I've been uploading almost every day, 3 or 4 times. I've been learning code approach since 2-3 months. And my question for you is, can you give me some advice for a guy like me who's been learning video editing for 5-6 months and wants to earn an income from that?
So advice is a little broad because there's so much advice. Could you narrow the topic down a little bit, and then I'd love to hear Sam and Kemi's advice, and then I'll drop my own game as well. Tommy.
I think you're frozen, bro.
Yeah, you frozen, broski. You frozen. Thanos got him. Yeah, Thanos got him.
Slowly disappears.
Yeah, exactly. It was a little bit broad, but Sam, would you like to start us off with that? Yeah, it was a bit broad, but
yeah,
I'd love to hear your thoughts.
See, there's so many areas that, I think it'd be good, maybe if you can type in the chat his exact problem or some problems that he's facing. Because without knowing them, it's hard to diagnose. I can give like a general broad answer, but I just don't think it would be very, very valuable.
Sam, you have a very good offer where you help personal brands grow, right? Oh, here we go.
I haven't actually had time to learn clients. Right now I'm growing little by little, but I want to earn income as fast as I can right now. Start earning income.
I mean, first thing I would say is is to maybe get that thought to the back of your mind, the start earning income as fast as you can. Because realistically, when you're first starting out, you want to focus on adding value to the client as much as possible, of course, but that's not necessarily going to come hand in hand with earning a lot of money right away up front. It's just not that quick of a business model because it relies on your skills and your value. So I would focus on building up your skills, ultimately becoming capable. That's the biggest thing. Being capable is linked to being valuable, and then people are going to pay you, and it's, you know, you're gonna find a lot of success with that. But I would just try get the kind of quick money out of your head, because what you should be focusing on, you know, 95% of your focus should be on becoming more skilled editor, building your skill stack, improving your offering, and just becoming better in everything you're doing. So I'd try to get fast money out the window. It can be done fast, but it's very rare. That's, you know, you'll pick it up that quickly, and you'll have the perfect skill set, and you'll find that one client. That's the 1%. So more often than not, obviously it's a very fulfilling career path. You likely will have success as time goes on, and that will build up, and incrementally you'll get better. But I would just not focus on the fast money.
I agree.
Right.
Cami, I'd love to hear your thoughts on.
Can I add something to that?
Actually, yeah, go
ahead.
Usually I really stick to my goals, so I really research and know that it's not for the quick money. It's for slowly improving yourself, and then slowly earning income as you get better and better and better. So my plan is usually to edit 4 or 5 hours learning and editing projects, and usually 1 hour, an hour and a half to post on Twitter and market myself. So I understand this. It's really important to first build your skills and then market yourself as a good editor.
Definitely. And the two go hand in hand as well. If you can share the work that you're doing and build up your portfolio with sample videos, for example, so long as you say it and make it clear that they are sample videos, here's some, you know, work I've done for free, in hopes to try get clients, you can put them on your portfolio, and you can build a good kind of backlog resume and present yourself well, and most of all show that you've got the skills.
Yeah.
Tommy, are you also reaching out to clients? Is that something that it's in your plan?
Yeah, usually I used to do that more often than now, because now I'm editing I live with people that I'm editing right now. I live in their house, and I'm editing for the channel. I have also edited one project for a gym that I go to, and that's just a few of projects that I have done.
Okay. As you start posting,
sorry, what was your question?
My question was, are you still reaching out to clients, maybe through DM or through email or whatnot? Because if you're still posting content and you're adding more stuff to your portfolio, the people might see your DMs now and be like, oh, he actually has got some really cool stuff on. Whereas at the beginning, they might have been like, oh, I don't know, I'm not too sure.
Not only person to person.
Sorry? I don't know if I didn't hear that. What did he say?
He said he's person to person. He's individually messaging people, I think he said.
Yeah, right now I focus more person to person outreach. Right now.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, I think that might just be like a quantity
person
thing.
To person outreach, because right now I can land more time. Sorry about
You're breaking up a bit.
Yeah, it's no stress, broski. It's no stress. Maybe type, Tommy. If you can type, I think we'll end on you, broski, because I got to jump off shortly. Do you want to type out a quick question, Tommy?
Yeah.
Easy, brother.
I'll type it out.
Awesome. Type. We can hear you from periods, but the time that it does drop it just fucks up the flow of things. But no stress. Type it out. And we'll drop some game. But fucking boom. It's been a good session, boys. It's been a pleasure.
What I miss when I jumped off?
I've enjoyed it.
Oh my goodness, mate. Fucking We made a pact not to tell you, Cammy. It was so crazy what happened when you left. We were like, we can't tell Cammy, just make him feel FOMO. No, just same old, cracking on with the fucking questions, Roski. It's fucking dope, man. Julian, I see you, baby. What's up? Vid hit 90,000 views. Come on, man. That's amazing. Shubham says, do more questions like this. Okay, Tommy V says, quick plan to grow on Twitter. Actually, I think that's a cool question to end it on, to be honest. Mainly because I found Sam through YouTube, I think, and then I saw you follow me on Twitter. We connected on Twitter. But Sam, you're crushing Twitter. Cammy, I've got you into Twitter. You're grinding Twitter now as well. You've got some posts blowing. Twitter is undeniably the best place to be building this year. Sam, I'd love to hear your thoughts. And then Cammy's on building on Twitter, and then we can jump off.
Yeah, it's such a good platform to be on because I feel like it's where all the creators kind of hang out. Because YouTube doesn't have necessarily that social aspect to it. You can't connect with people in the same way and kind of network as much. So I think X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, is definitely where all the creators hang out who are ideally going to be your customers, your clients in future. So I would recommend building a personal brand on that. It's the same concept with my content across the board. I would recommend relying on proven concepts. So seeing what tweets work well, what hooks work well. It's the same copywriting structure and the storytelling techniques that I spoke about earlier with scripting. It's the exact same applies. If you have value to offer, ultimately it's value driven. Add as much value as possible to your ideal client. If you can give away value, package it up in a proven concept in a way that's been proven to work. That might be just taking a hook from somewhere that's performed well before. Here are the top 5 editing techniques of 2024, whatever hook's going to work. Wrap it up in a proven concept, and then you're sorted. Just give away value. Give it away in a way that's well structured with storytelling techniques and a proven, a proven concept for the actual content, and you can't go far wrong.
What's your strategy for that? Do you plan tweets? Do you just do it as you think, or?
Yeah, I just do it as I think. I should really have a backlog. I should build up some ideas. I should plan them out, but I haven't yet. I just kind of go off the cuff. And what I've been doing is just as I've been scrolling, again, it comes back to how you're learning, which is something I speak about a fair amount. Instead of just mindlessly scrolling and just not really thinking, I would look at everything intentionally and really think, can I take this concept? Can I use this concept? So when I'm scrolling down, I just save tweets that I'd like to replicate, that I'd like to remake or add my own spin to, whatever. That's just how I get inspiration. You can also use Tweet Hunter, which is the same thing, just finding proven concepts. But to be honest, I just like to find ideas naturally, just save the post as I see them.
Love that. I can't hear you, Jack.
I think you're muted.
Yeah, there we go. Cool. Cammy, you've had some posts recently that are popping off. You're newer to Twitter, right? I know, Sam, Twitter's been huge for you, right? You've been grinding Twitter since you started the YouTube channel, right?
Not so much, really, to be honest. I started maybe two months ago and just kind of been off and on it. I haven't taken it too seriously. Yeah,
damn,
not yet.
That's crazy. That's very impressive because a lot of your stuff's been blowing up. But Cammy, you're honestly actually not even much newer than Sam. You've been grinding for a similar amount of time, but you've had some recent videos that have popped off, etc. Any tips for growing on Twitter that you've seen?
I just give a lot of value, but I also use a lot of proof. So a lot of my videos are like how I did this with proof. Like some of the posts that do well are the ones where I kind of say, look, this is the views that I got for something, or this is the clients that I have. Here's how I get them. But I'm kind of appealing to those that want to get better at editing, as well as documenting my journey to grow in the agency. I kind of vary it out. I have videos. I have threads. Singular posts, images.
Results though have done good for you, because I saw you had one recently. That video popped off, a couple hundred likes, and it was I think it was about going to 6 figures, maybe something like that.
I The video. I posted a long form video which was about how the actual strategy to get to a 6-figure content agency.
Yeah.
The long form stuff's doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll say a couple things there. Anything with numbers is great. Any result you guys can break down, right? For me, when I put together a plan of, how you could make 6 figures, or a plan of how you could become a full-time video editor, that performed fantastic. But also I will say, the more you guys can do video content, the better. So Twitter is making a play right now on YouTube, right? Like Elon Musk is encouraging. If you guys have a look at the timeline, you have a look at Mr. Beast posting his videos. Elon comes underneath. He says, why don't you post on X as well? He's really trying to push people to post video content on X. And in fact, they are promoting video content more. They promote a post that holds user screen time the most. So if somebody stops on Sam's post for 5 minutes and they stop on my post for 30 seconds, Sam's post holds more value to the algorithm and gets boosted more because it held more user minutes. And with video content, it's boosting it more because you spend more time watching that content. And Elon wants to make a play on YouTube. He would love for him to be the primary streaming platform. Twitter gets more daily users logged on than other social media platforms. I think they're killing. You have a look at the Twitter, they have the line of where they cross, right? Twitter, Instagram used to be killing it. Twitter's now crossed over, gets more daily users than Instagram, which is a absolute cultural shift. That's massive, right? We've all spent the past 5+ years being Instagram as the number one. Everyone said, oh, you meet somebody, they're like, yo, let me get your Instagram, right? Now, if I tap in with someone, I want their Twitter first. I don't give a fuck about their Instagram, right? Like I want to tap in with their Twitter. Because that's where the game is. So attention is on Twitter. For me, I have a base level of content that releases every single day. I record a Q&A every single month. We schedule that 1 clip a day every single day for an entire month. That's my base level of content. And then I'll add threads on top. I'll add throwback Thursdays to position myself as an expert. I'll add random shout outs to YouTube videos. We'll add VP plus success stories, etc. Wins channel stuff comes out there, etc. So mainly this is a place that you have to understand holds the most attention out of any other platform right now. It's also a place that is moving more akin to a startup, because when a company reaches scale, right? When like something becomes Microsoft level or like Shopify level or Apple level, so a big level, things start moving slow, right? Like decisions take a long time to get pushed through because there's information overhead. There's a lot of people that have to sign off on a new update. So the platform starts growing very slow. Twitter is moving like a startup because only one man has to have a decision on what gets pushed forward, and that's Top E, Elon motherfucking Musk, baby. He wakes up and he says, today we are gonna push this feature. And he sends a text to somebody, and it's their job to just actualize his vision. So I don't believe there's any platform in existence that is moving at the scale of a startup, but has the size of a conglomerate mega platform. So I think truly Twitter is the best place to be building right now. If genuinely, if you had to say, Jack, you've lost everything, pick one place to build, I would strongly consider Twitter and YouTube almost an even playing fields right now, which is insane. You would never say that back in the day. Back in the day, you would only say YouTube. If you had to pick one platform, you'd always pick YouTube. Nowadays, honestly, Twitter is the only place that I would even consider. I'd probably still pick YouTube, but it's the only place I would even consider building instead of YouTube. So I'll end that off. I'll end it off on that note, and I'll say that's the reason we're putting out the Blue Path. The Blue Path is the formula all of you guys can follow to blow up a Twitter account off the back of this community right here, and get countless inbound leads hitting you up, wanting to hire you. And it's what we've been pushing for quite some time now. We have countless success stories. Mia in the chat right now being one of them. Absolute killer. What's up, Mia? Shipham says, what's the Blue Path? You're about to find out. Shot it in the studio last week. We're putting it out within the next week or so. So it's coming. We'll do a big live session on it as well. We've been going 2 hours and 15 minutes. Sam, thank you for coming through. Tammy, thank you for coming through. It's been a fucking mega pleasure.
Thank you for having me. Time for the podcast of you guys, man.
Dude, we need to make it happen, bro. We need to make it happen for real. You guys want to fucking drop your links? Sam, Cammy, do you want to drop any links you guys want them to go follow? Guys, I strongly suggest tapping in with both of these guys there. industry leaders in the space, and like that's why I've gone out there and really tried to bring them into this community. Drop them a follow. It was a fucking awesome session, guys. First session back of the year.
Oh, was it really? Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're first session back of the year. We're gonna keep them coming, baby. We're gonna keep them coming. And VP UK meetups has to be done. And both you guys are gonna be at the VP meetup. So if you guys want to meet Cami and Sam in person, you guys got to come to the VP meetup. Date pending, but fuck yeah, boys.
Sounds good.
Pleasure as always.
Thanks for having me.
Peace, people. Peace, love. Peace.
Bye.